Please subscribe.
They call it the boss. In November, BMW will begin moving the recently structured 2019 BMW X5, the fourth era of a hybrid that goes back to 1999 and filled BMW's entrance into the now blasting SUV fragment. In spite of the fact that you'd need to squint to see configuration changes, the LED headlights are isolated by a bigger grille, and there's a 3D look to the taillights. For instance, the sensational changes are underneath the skin. The new X5 is 1.1 inches longer, 194.3 inches, it rides on a 117.1-inch wheelbase, which developed 1.6 inches, and it's 2.6 inches more extensive and somewhat lower. Check weight is generally the equivalent. The enormous news is that the X5 moves to the CLAR engineering for a superior ride and more tech. It joins the 7 Series, X3, X4, and new X7, the X6 will likewise move over to CLAR. At this patch, the US gets the xDrive 40i with a 3.0-liter turbocharged i6, 335 horsepower and 330 pounds-to-foot of torque, and the xDrive 50i with a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8, 456 horsepower and 479 pounds-to-foot. Both have an 8-speed programmed transmission and standard all-wheel drive. For Europe there are two 3.0-liter turbodiesel i6s, one will go to the US 1 year from now as the xDrive 35D. A module crossover will be included for the 2020 model year with a battery pack under the seats to abstain from impinging on payload space. A back-drive X5 could come when the second model year, and timing for a 4-barrel motor is as yet being resolved. A X5M is a couple of years away. The undercarriage has a 2-fold and armed front hub and 5 connect rays. Base and game suspensions are steel. There will be a discretionary air suspension on the 2 axles now, with programmed self-leveling. Dynamic damper control is standard, and there are 2 execution settings, one for a solace ride and one for a sportier drive. The X5 will offer back controlling, remote motor begin, slow pricing and plummet control, and an industrial facility hitch for towing. Versatile LED headlights are standard, and laser lights are a choice. Well-being highlights will generally copy those on the 5 Series and X7. The X5 will be the first to acquaint a discretionary camera with screen the driver's eye developments for indications of weakness or dropping down to content, in spite of the fact that this element probably won't be at first accessible in the US. Self-ruling driving tech takes into account a discretionary driving assistant professional bundle with traffic jam assistant coming toward the year's end. This will give the driver 7 seconds of without hands driving at higher paces and 30 seconds at rates up to around 10 miles per hour. The X5 can likewise perform path changes and shifty moves self-rulingly when important. What's more, it can back up and leave the vehicle for you. Upscale inside contacts incorporate a Swarovski precious stone shifter and gems in the 7.0i drive controller dial. Two 12.3-inch screens are standard. The lodge is loaded up with encompassing and form lights. You can cool your refreshment in the cup holders, and there's a discretionary all-encompassing rooftop with lights embedded into the glass to look like stars. Warm seats are standard, and you can pay additional for ventilated, needing front seats. Raised situate diversion and the discretionary top-of-the-line Bowers and Wilkins sound framework won't be accessible until December. There are 2 different ways to open the back end, as a solitary unit or best and base independently. A smooth load cover moves back naturally, push a catch to overlay the back seats, and the payload cover vanishes into the floor between the second and third columns. It's genuinely sweet. Cover in the freight territory has elastic enemy of slip extenders to shield bundles from sliding, in addition to there are shrouded capacity compartments. Despite the fact that BMW is adding another nameplate to its lineup, the full-measure 7 Traveler X7, the littler X5 will keep on offering a discretionary third column. It won't be accessible until the year's end. M Sport models have more body shading boards of matte aluminum kidney grille bars, the rooftop rails and side window encompasses are in a polished dark. Standard wheels are 19 inches, with 21 and, out of the blue, 22-inch wheels accessible as an alternative. It has a M Sport guiding wheel, sport pedals, and some one-of-a-kind aluminum trim. Out of the blue, an off-road bundle will be accessible on every model variation. This will highlight air suspension, underbody security, and an electronic back differential bolt. The X5 will go into generation in Spartanburg, South Carolina, in August.